Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Bill Mossart. It's Saturday, and let me see. Let me find some. Let me find some. There you go. Now we can have a little bit of background music of some kind to take up the dead silences between my talking. So let me see here. Let me get over to the comments and see who's in the show. It's like, you know what? Every year, I'll get this out of the way. Every year we do go to San Diego Comic Con. Yes, it's happening this weekend. And yes, this is the first year that we'll be skipping it on purpose, probably since 1993. So it's kind of a pilgrimage for us. So it's kind of a bummer that we're not there, but at the same time, we're looking forward to next year already, and we're hoping everybody's having a great time. So if you were at the show, you want to chill out for a little while, or like me, you couldn't go to the show for one reason or another, want to chill out, have a draw stream. Here we are. Am I right? So let me see who's in the room with us. Let's see. Maurice, what's up, dude? Maurice, I get the first comment this time. Yes, indeed. I want to make sure all my microphone stuff is on to make sure that there's sound. I went like 5 minutes this one time without realizing that I was on mute. Maurice is asking, how is everything going in the Mouse House this week? It's going good. It's going really good. We're catching up on. We just finished 2 Kickstarters in a row, so our days are kind of mixed between working on the 2 books that we just finished campaigning and making sure that we deliver those on time, and of course working on all of our commissions. So it's a good week, and it's been kind of chill. So I'm enjoying it. I think we're doing good. Some person was wondering whether or not we were going to start on time. How you doing, some person, man? I'm glad you're hanging out with this dude. Saying hello, very, very cool. Ken in a room with us. What's up, dude? Evening, gents. Very, very cool. Some person says, so what curvaceous creation will be made tonight? Yeah, we're going to find out. We're going to find out together. This is basically a virtual artist alley at Comic-Con. You guys are coming up to my table, and we'll see what happens. Paul, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us. Paul says, hey, all. I went to a Comic-Con in Raleigh. I bought 2 comics, and there was like 4 comic vendors, but got a sketch cover done and some autographs. Bought more comics and a lot more at a local shop after. That's cool, dude. That's cool. I've been meaning to go for the past few years to Heroes Con. I believe it's down. No, it's in Charlotte. It's in Charlotte. But there's a few different shows in North Carolina that I've been meaning to add to the list. So very, very cool. Glad you're hanging out with us, dude. Let's see here. Saying hello. Very, very cool. Love our group, dude. I like that everybody here knows everybody. We're all getting to know each other. Growing one person at a time. It's awesome. Some person says, I have sound. Thank God. I know. I go for a while trying to catch up on the chat, and by the time I get to the bottom, that's when I find out. I should just scroll to the bottom and just find out. So thankfully, I knew what button to hit this time. Such a professional. Ken says, dude, you go every other show starting off muted. I know. I'm trying to kick that habit. Trying to kick it. Paul says your Kickstarters get funded hella fast. Yeah, you know what? We're very fortunate. I'm super glad that people like the stuff, and it's like I just want to concentrate on doing the best job on the book, so that way I'm not worried about stuff. And it's thanks to everybody here. It's thanks to everybody supporting and collecting. So thank you so much. Courtney's in the room with us. Hey, Courtney, what's up? Saying hello to all. I'm glad you're in the room with us. That's awesome. Maurice says, I would love to go to San Diego Comic-Con, but afraid to cross the border. No, I hear you. And San Diego is such a huge show. It's so big. There's no way you could see it all, even with the 4 days that you have to see everything. So I've got a couple of pieces up on the screen now. These are the pieces we were working on last week. I just wanted to give you a quick update on these 2 pieces before we went on. Hey, by the way, when you're making tortillas, careful with the freaking grill. It can be hot. That's what this is, in case anybody spots that. Jeez. Paul says, I went to Heroes this year. First time It was nuts. It's awesome. Yeah, I hear that yours is a big. It's a good fun show. I definitely want to add it to my list. Everybody saying hello. It is very cool. Let's see. Some person says you can play the THX thing. Ken Albury in the house. What's up, dude? Good evening, all. Says Ken Albury. Glad to have you with us this time. That's awesome. Let's see. Paul says this is my second time here, but I'm really hyped because I did not know what to expect, but had a blast last time. I'm super happy, man. I'm glad you like the show, and I'm glad you like what we got going. So, for anybody who's watching the show for the first time, I know this is kind of like static up here. Here we go. I'll move the images around so that way it's action. There we go. Okay, so for anybody who's watching the show for the first time, we usually go from 10 to 12. We come up with ideas together in the chat for some ideas on what we're going to draw, what the art of the evening is going to be. And then at the end of the evening, we auction off that piece of artwork to one lucky winner. If we have two pieces of artwork, then we auction it off to two lucky winners. So the idea is that during the show, we get the pencil layout all hooked up and all set up where it's going to go. Then after the show is over, whoever wins the auction, whoever wins the artwork will be inked and completed, similar to this piece right here. And then later on, we do our best to get a full color version of it up on our secret Patreon page. Sometimes we modify it so we get a safe for work version and a not safe for work version. Have some fun with it, and then we go from there. All right, let me catch up with the chat a little bit. Some person says you can show off your tortilla scars now. I know, so awful, dude. Actually, it looks worse than it is. I mean, it barely touched me, but and on the first day, it actually didn't look too bad. And it's like two days later, it's like it looks like that now. Let's see. Ken Albury says last time I went to San Diego was in 2000, I think. Yeah, it's been a little while. Dude. It only gets bigger every year. The show is pretty insane. Ken says Ken Omega. We have the two Kens here. We're gonna cross the energy. Paul says the artist alley in Raleigh, GalaxyCon was a sardine hall, so packed in a tiny hotel side room. Oh no, yeah, I hate it when they kind of get everybody too crowded into a little corner. It kind of gets hard to see what everybody has, right? So small. Maurice says, I'm surprised Kevin is not here yet. Oh, he's here, dude. Oh wait, no, he's not here yet. I thought I was glancing down further in the thing. It's like, okay, well, you know what? Kevin is actually at the show, so we'll see. And they keep him busy afterwards. So if he's a photographer at the show. So if there's events or things happening after the show, after the main floor closes, sometimes he's really busy with like celebrity stuff or model stuff afterwards. So we'll see. We'll see if Kevin can show up or not. That would be cool, but we'll see. I know he gets busy. Ken says, love the addition of the boots to ENX. Yeah, that was Chet's idea. And I'm still working on it just a little bit. I think I want to angle the leg this way just a little bit. And also, we kind of solved the problem of having the master back here, our master cringe guy. Let's see. Ken Albury says, obviously, tonight we'll be drawing She-Newt again. That's a very biased comment there, Ken. But you never know. We'll see what sticks. We'll see what happens. Paul says artwork is the Chinese version. Art walk. Yes, you caught me saying art walk. I'm trying to talk too fast because I'm trying to catch up and get to the bottom of the chat so that way we can start our sketch. Sometimes I talk too fast and it's late at night and I get all mixed up. Let's see. Ken says Kevin might still be at the Comic-Con tonight. Oh, I am sure he is. I'm sure they got him busy. Or there might be a party to go to. You don't know. Ken says it's Saturday. You know, they party hard at the con. This is for sure. This is for sure. I'm missing it. I'm missing it all. But you know what? It's okay, man, because I'm hanging out with you guys tonight. So this is good. This is cheering me up 100%. So we're good. Maurice says, for a piece, what would be the biggest sketch you would do at San Diego Comic-Con, an exclusive piece for the stream feed? Well, I don't know. Let's see what ideas come in. I mean, obviously, like most of the sketches are going to be like, like 11 by 17. I mean, we're talking about like, I know I'm talking about dimensional size, but as far as like the biggest sketch, as far as like as many characters, or maybe just like one cool character in the middle, but we really just go to town on that single character. We'll see what ideas we come up with, and then we'll jot it down. We'll see what sticks. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Paul says, not even Tortilla Tuesday. I know, it's embarrassing. Ken Albury says, oh, Ken Alpha. That's right. Got Ken Alpha and Ken Omega. I missed the Omega call out. Let's see. Ken said, I didn't come here to do no chat reading. Some person says Kevin's playing the long game for the auction. Let's see. Ken says, I will be drawing She-Newt. I am editing issue 10 as we chat. Oh, that's cool. Doing some studio work while we're drawing, while we're doing stuff. That's good. Get that studio atmosphere going. Some person says, I was looking up Nera X characters. Is Solace a guitarist? Not officially, but I mean, she's been known to pick up a guitar or so, but she's not officially like a Nera X character though. She had her own series. We did a mini series with her for Avatar Press, and it was kind of like set in a weird future with like crazy characters and stuff. It was kind of like her own little pocket universe that she was in. I don't think I've ever crossed those two characters over. Let's see. Ken says, I think she's used a guitar in an inventive way before. Maurice says most popular. Okay, well, I don't know. It really spreads out. It's like there's not one character that I've drawn like so much more than other characters. Unless you count Spider-Man. Every time there's a Spider-Man character, that's always a thing. That's something that always... A Spider-Man character will always happen at some point. So if you're talking about the most popular, then probably a Spider-Man related character. Ken Albury says, my official suggestion, as it's everywhere right now, is a Sue Storm piece. That is very timely. That is very timely. So I'm gonna write that down. Just to see what happens. Just maybe she'll be part of this image tonight. Let's see. Some person says, rereading it, I misread Band of Rebels for band. Let's see. Courtney says, got to work tortillas into your sketch now. I know. I'm going to write down the word tortillas. Trust me, I've learned my lesson. The tortillas have taught me a lesson that I will not forget. Ken says, I think someone mentioned Anime Malka last week. This is very, very true. It is very, very true. Oh, and this other piece, this is actually Larry's piece from last week. So I just started inking the face and started getting in some details here. So that's what's happening with those two pieces. We get back over here with some pep here. So we're thinking about an Anime Malka. That's true. I'm going to write that down because we did talk about that last week. That would be fun. Let me see. Let me look up my book over here real quick. There we go. Just want to make sure I have this handy. There we go. Okay, now I'm set. Okay, I'm back. I had to move a chair over just so I can fit behind my table right. You don't want to see the behind the scenes of this mess that I've got here. Okay, so Paul says, I know who Nera is, but I'm not familiar with ENX yet. Oh, well, Paul, let me catch you up real fast with ENX. ENX is short for Evil Nera X. So she is actually Nera X's evil doppelganger from another dimensional universe. So very, very simple. I love those 90s tropes of having like an evil version of a character. And Chet was actually the one that suggested that and kind of like encouraged me to have her be part of the story. So she's taken on a whole life of her own thanks to that. As Ken Albury says, I'm also calling dibs on the name Tortilla Scar for a new antagonist. Oh my God. Okay, I'm writing that down. Tortilla Scar. The Ken Albury Chronicles. Oh my gosh. Please remind me about that later. That's too good. It's kind of personal. I feel like it's personal. Some person says, I see an El Kabong type. Christopher Bouchard, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us. Hello there. How about a hot Sue Storm artwork today? We got 2 votes now for a Sue Storm. This is, I think we're definitely going to head for an Invisible Woman piece tonight. Very, 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 very cool. Very, very cool. All right, let me see here. Maury says, Venom is always a favorite. Yes, absolutely. I haven't drawn Venom in forever. And I love Venom. Venom and Sue Storm, perhaps? Ken says Sue Storm would just be a blank cover. I know, she'll be the easiest one I draw all week. Paul says League of Legends, or League of Geeks had Nira. Nira X is only female character you have created, but that's not accurate, right? Still getting familiar with the work. Yeah, Paul, it's I actually have like a whole bunch of characters floating back and forth. So it take a little while to kind of go through them, but we had a bunch of characters, and Nira is actually part of a group of characters called Cyber Angels. And they did quite a number on the timelines as it was. There's a whole time travel story that involves the Cyber Angels. So we'll get you all caught up with this, and I'm going to start posting some more stuff on my webpage too. That way people can get more familiar with like some of the titles and some of the characters and stuff. Some person says, I need an updated character bibliography. I can only find this. Oh, you know what? If you, yeah, for characters. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I was going to say my little simple bio on my webpage. But yeah, I'm going to update my webpage with that. So I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I think we were kind of thinking the same thing as soon as Paul was mentioning about different characters and stuff. We do have to have a hub for that. I think that would be super important. Ken says Tortilla could be the name of a new friend for Waffle. Let's see. Maurice says, no, Courtney, it's bananas with duct tape. I know that is the rolling theme. That is the rolling theme. Ken Albury says, I appreciate that past unused suggestions are brought back up again. Yes. No, that's why I need you guys. You guys keep me on track. All right, everybody's saying hello. Courtney says, Maurice, it's the Mexican version. Tortilla with duct tape. I kind of love that. Paul says, I think enchilada scar flows better. Some person says hello to Kat in case she appears.
Hi.
The cat mouse is mere feet away.
Yeah, I'm working over here.
Yeah, she's over there working on her desk. She's got a million different things to work. I think like in a week and a half we have another show. It's another show that's it's next weekend. It's actually a local show here that we just drive to. It's like 5 minutes away, which is awesome.
Easy.
So thank you for the hello there. Some person says also whichever Nira character you haven't used. There are a few. So that's a possibility too. Paul says Cyber Angels is my homework. You're awesome, dude. Jason, what's up, dude? Yeah, Jason, it's true. No San Diego Comic-Con this year. This will be officially the first year that I've skipped, minus the old COVID years where everybody skipped, since like 1993. So I've been going there for quite a long time. But this is the first year. It all has to do with like deadlines, catching up, making sure that it's a whole universe of reasons that are like practical. Let's get caught up and get everything on schedule kind of reasons. So it's all good. It's all good. Ken says, I can help you with that if you want. I used to have a whole bibliography and character list of Nira's universe. Yes, Ken does have. He is the maintainer of the Cyber Angel Citadel, as it were. So we need to have a hub for that. I like having a hub for all the characters and some of the story information and stuff like that. I think that's really cool, and I think it really helps new people coming in. So that would be awesome if we could find a way to get that posted up in our different places. Maybe we can share the link to the Cyber Angel Reddit, and that would be good until I get the website updated. Let's see. Maurice says, "Is there anywhere I can find your Stargate stuff?" Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I actually don't even have most of the Stargate comics. That I might have like one copy, two copies, like just from just our studio stuff. Just because a lot of things, I've moved back and forth from San Diego to Virginia, like several times, and things have gotten lost in transit. And those are Entity Comics issues, and we were actually the first publisher to actually license Stargate to do comic books. So other than eBay, I really don't have another source. So that's going to be a little bit hard to find. Jason says, "No, I vote pancake." Some person says, "I see Waffle eating a very large tortilla." He would be happy. Ken says, "Bill, if you need help with putting that list together for your site, let me know." Yeah, absolutely. I'll go ahead and let you know right now. I can use a bit of help putting information together because I've let it go for so long now. And I've lost a lot of those issues. I've lost a lot of issues in transit. So, and these are the 90s. I didn't really have backups of computer files and things like that from back then. So any help would be good. Very cool. Thanks for sending that link. That's good. Ken Albury says character bios in the Marvel Universe handbook style as stretch goals would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. That's actually a good idea. I like that. Very, very cool. Thanks for sharing that link, dude. Ken says Enchilada Scar is Tortilla Scar's older, fatter brother. Ken Zazer says Tortilla Scar could have a sidekick called Chalupa Boo Boo. I don't know if you get a point for that, but it's on theme. I will give you that. It is on theme. Jason says, "No worries. Same here." Ken Albury says, "Not to mention going to San Diego Comic-Con is crazy expensive." It is. It is quite the undertaking. Christopher Bouchard says, "How about a hot Mary Jane and Felicia Hardy artwork?" That is something we can keep in mind. Definitely want to keep that in mind. I'll jot that down real quick here. Jason says, "I feel like San Diego Comic-Con is the pilgrimage to Mecca for nerds." Oh, definitely, dude. I totally agree with that. Some person says, "While Kat is here, could you ask her to wrench Ken and Kevin?" I don't know how to do that. I can.
Yeah, you have to do that. I can't do that.
Yeah, she can't do it from her computer. I have to do it.
From YouTube.
Yeah, I have to do it from here, from the YouTube. I'm gonna figure out how to do that at some point. Right now, I'm just trying to dig my way to the bottom of the chat, and we're gonna start drawing. I think what we've got so far, as far as I could tell, it's a combination of either Sue Storm, an anime version of Malka, and Venom. And we might divide this into two different pieces. We'll see. We're gonna see which way we go. Paul says, "Okay, Solace is my new crush." Damn. You're awesome, dude. Some person says, "I sent the return of Solace." You know, I've actually done a couple of pinups and stuff. I kind of playing around with some of her designs. I have been kind of toying around with some ideas. Let's see. Maurice says, "Is that a Belgian waffle?" Some person is asking, was I making quesadillas? No, I was actually just making regular. I was just heating up some tortillas, man. It's like just throw some meat.
Burritos.
Oh, you know what? That was that morning. Thank you, Kat. We were making scrambled egg burritos that morning. Yep, that's what it was. You know, I try to eat healthy, and this is what I get.
Eating tortillas.
I know.
Yeah, because we heat it up on the. We have a normal electric stove, so we use a camping stove for the fire to get the good.
Yeah. I got a little grill thing, and I got a camping stove next to the regular stove because I want to get some real flame. And apparently, it makes everything hot, just like flames. So you can ask my arm. Ken says, let's see, to Paul, Solace started as a side character, not in Nero's universe, and was promoted in an art piece in one of his books. She was a bit younger. Bill decided to go hard left on her. LOL. That's true. Yeah, she had her own threshold of the type of book that she was in. Some person says, "No, it's a living waffle. I assume made of meat." Mighty Geek, what's up, dude? Let's see, how many corrupted cyber angels are on the roster? I think they all have corrupted versions of themselves. So this is one of those things. Jason, what's up? Beto, or is it B2? I mean, Beto. Okay, he says, heyo, spell check. We're saying so much stuff about tortillas right now that I thought you were just trying to say something kind of in Spanish. Beto. I'm glad you're here, dude. Paul says, I saw that you drew my favorite indie girl character, Razor. Did you meet Everett Hartsoe? Never in person. I drew some Razor when I was at Avatar Press, and I think I drew some Razor. There might have been a sketch card set in between all of those things. But no, I never met him in person, just in a roundabout sort of way. Doing the work through a second party. Ken Albury says, I have no desire to be hit with a wrench. Jason, what's up, dude? Glad you're here, man. Jason says, howdy. Glad you're here, man. Ken says, you could have Sue Storm half invisible, like pulling up a certain cyber angel's thumb. And she is like, who the hell is doing this? Yeah, she might have to be half invisible. That would be cool. Jason says, taco pie, yum. Maurice says, sounds tasty. Very cool, very cool. Let's see. Ken says, Bill's Razor is a unique representation. Yes, it is. And great. Maurice says, a hot Sue Storm cooking tortillas with Venom's tongue going wild in anticipation. Actually sounds pretty cool. You know, the anime manga might have to be a separate piece. All right, Sue Storm. I think Sue Storm is where we're starting with first. She has for Rivals, she has kind of a cool costume thing going on. Let me look this up real quick. Sue Storm, Rivals. That's funny how it oh, look at that. It misspelled everything. So what's the use of using voice to text? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I might do like her costume, but maybe like a mix of like what I like to do and like what they got going on here. I think that'll be cool. All right, I got this. All right, we'll use this as our little reference thingy here. All right, let's start with Sue Storm. Let me see. Oop, why is this not moving? Hello. Sorry, I just got quiet for a second because nothing was scrolling up and down. And it's still not scrolling up and down. There you go. That's better. Okay. All right. I thought the computer froze. Jason was saying malice. Let's see. Some person says, so is this in a lab in the Baxter building or perhaps a high-tech kitchen? Something high-tech, right? I mean, it sort of fits the theme with her. The Fantastic Four. Ken says alien symbiotes are documented tortilla lovers. You know, Mr. Fantastic did have the Venom symbiote inside of a glass container that one time, remember? When he was trying to separate it from Peter Parker. I remember that story. Paul says, if only we can get someone in a Savage Land outfit for tonight's drawing. But holy heck, it's not Venom. It's not going to be Venom. Some person says invisible girl. I assume certain parts won't be invisible. Venom would be very awkward. Vida Alte, what's up, my friend? Glad you're hanging out with us, dude. That's awesome. All right, let's see. Let's start this up here. All right, so we got Sue Storm. Let's maybe Venom is behind her, being sneaky. Let's just get her kind of positioned first, and then we will figure out where we will go from there. There we go. Get this thing up here like this. All right, I'm gonna draw a few lines, and I'll do my best to not fall behind. If I fall behind too far on the chat, I might skip a few just to get caught up a little bit quicker. So we shall see what we will do. But first, let's get a nice little surprise look on Sue. First of all, she's probably surprised that the movie is doing so well at the theater. I've heard lots of good things about the movie, which is good. We need some good superhero movies. There we go. Get a nice little surprised look on her face here. You guys got a lot of good ideas for tonight. A lot of timely ideas. Now remember, this is going to be a somewhat tight, somewhat loose pencil. Everything's going to get tightened up in the inking phase, and whoever does win the piece is going to be fully inked. So anybody who's watching the show for the first time, that's just something to know for later, especially when we start the auction later on. You're not going to be receiving an unfinished piece of artwork. There we go. Get rid of some of those eraser shavings. Don't need no eraser shavings on my table.
Steampy.
My steampy.
Oh, you're steampy.
You don't want eraser shavings on my table. All right, we're getting a little surprised. And let me just get the expression on her face real quick, and just a little bit of her hairdo here. Hopefully I don't fall too far behind on the chat. I don't like leaving anybody out. The whole point of these evenings so that we can hang out. I definitely don't want to miss any of the chat. That's half of the reason I'm here. And also to draw crazy superhero people. All right. Just kind of get that started a wee little bit. Oh, okay. I don't have to scroll up too far. This is good. Thanks, guys. All right. So Jason says, I was put to shame. Spidey had a paper bag for a mask. I know. I remember that part. I remember that. That was funny, dude. Some person says maybe a Kirby-esque type technology somewhere. That would actually be yeah, I like that idea a lot. Yeah, throw in some Kirby background. I like the big. I just love his style. It's like his style of like technology and stuff. Very cool, Jason. Some person says, so Sue's head invisible or not? I know, just make her headless. Paul says, going to be able to have 2 drawings tonight, or too early to tell? A little too early to tell, but I have a feeling we'll be able to get to 2 drawings tonight. I've got a good feeling, because I think the Invisible Girl piece, having Venom involved and possibly some tortillas. We're gonna see. We're gonna do our best to have 2 drawings. Maybe she's in the lab, like testing out the invisibility abilities of her costume. I like my tropes. And Venom's just being sneaky in the background. And we talked about Venom so much, it'd be funny if I just drew him just in a cup, like a little blob. That's all he is.
That'd be cute.
Let me see here. Some person says he can always do invisibility with the outlines too. Yep, absolutely. Some person saying hello. That's awesome. Paul says, doing Superman numbers, the new FF. Yeah, it is. I heard that the new FF movie is actually doing slightly better numbers than the Superman movie, but I want them both to do well. Let's see. I hardly ever watch Marvel movies, but First Steps looks really cool. Like Fallout. I love that. You know what? That's true. Yeah, I really like that futuristic 1960s kind of vibe that they've got. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be good. Jason says I use a brush. Paul says it's like Bill Mouse fireside chat. It's what it is, right? Ken says the invisibility only affects her costume in this piece for some reason. Ha ha. Sai, what's up? I'm glad you're here. Let's see. Hello, Sir Bill of House Mousington. I'm keeping that name. I want to buy a pipe. I want to sit like in a big chair with like a book and start the video that way where I'm just like, welcome to my reading room. Some person says hello to Cyborg. Yes. Very cool, very cool. Christopher says, question, how many original Zen comics are there? There's a lot of Zen comics out there, and there's a lot of mini series, which makes it a little bit difficult. It's very similar to the Nira timeline of books, because there's so many mini series and they all have like 3 issues a piece, kind of thing. It's hard to track down all the books. So there's at least a zillion books out there. I'm gonna have to actually do some research. There's a lot of books, and we're gonna have to figure that out. That's actually a good question. What I didn't like was back in the 90s. I don't mind coming out with new number ones for 3-issue miniseries and stuff, but I think back in the 90s there were too many number ones like all at once. There was a lot of series that there was number ones that came out in the middle of other miniseries that hadn't finished yet, so it got a little confusing. I didn't quite care for that. But there are a lot of Zen books right now. Though a current one that we're working on is called Zen Bounty Wars, and it's on issue 2 right now, and it's a 4-issue miniseries. And that's something that we're publishing through First Comics, Zen's official publisher in the current age. You know what? I do like to mix it up because I like having the 4 logo in the circle on the chest. So we'll mod her costume just a little bit. There we go. Okay, let me see where you guys are at real quick. Why doesn't this want to scroll up and down? It's kind of weird. There you go. Now it got unstuck. I feel like it gets stuck. I don't get it. Why is Chrome being weird? There we go. Okay, some person saying hello. That's awesome. Paul says she is trying to invent enchiladas that disappear in your stomach. I invented those. Let's see. Christopher says hello. Very cool. Ken says so many reboots and new series in the 90s. Yeah, there were just so many of them. There was a lot. Paul says the Topps Jurassic Park series was the worst. Every 2 issues they went back to number 1. It's bad when they do it with like that fast. You know what I mean? So many reboots, so many all the time. But I like if they're self-contained stories, I kind of like like they're dropping an album. It's like this is the new one kind of situation. But it's like you don't want them to reboot it so quick, you know? You want to be able to follow a story for at least a certain amount of time. All right, let me push this way. There we go. That way you guys can see more of the image. There we go. Maybe she's. Oh, this would be a good idea. Let me see here. Having her kind of like pulling up the shirt on her costume a little bit. Here we go. Let me just figure out this little piece right here. Got too many lines playing with each other. What are you doing, Sue? What's happening over here? What's going on, man? There we go. Flare hair back this way a little bit. Sorry, I got quiet there for a minute because I was trying to figure out this little, like, how do these lines all come together kind of situation. And then I've got some shading here, but whoever wins the piece afterwards, you can let me know if you want to lean it a little bit more not safe for work or not, and then we'll just play with that a little bit. Actually, you know what? You know what would be funnier? This would be funnier. I always like the sexy better when there's a hee hee ha ha attached. There you go, little 1960s bikini bottoms. Here we go. Let me leave that there for a second. Let that sit. Let that simmer for just a moment. You got to figure out. I got kind of an idea for like how Venom can be popping into the scene. Let me see here. Paul says the top Jurassic Park series was the word. Okay, that's the one that I just read. Okay, Ken says I randomly watched Side Quest again the other night. Love it so much, dude. That's I like. I had no idea they were gonna make Nira X like such a big part of the show, right? I thought she was just going to be some background dressing, but they actually had a couple of gags, and then the backdrop. It's like it was so cool. It was so cool what they did. Oh, for those who don't know that Ken Zazer is talking about, Nira X actually had her television appearance on Apple TV. It's a TV show. It's episode 2 of season 1. Of a show called Side Quest. If you guys want to check it out, and make it a Where's Waldo. See if you could spot Nira in the episode in the background. The whole episode takes place in a comic book shop. It's kind of like a comedy, kind of a Big Bang Theory kind of a comedy. sitcom. And yeah, take a little look. See if you can spot Nero in the background. It's pretty awesome. Paul says, it's amazing how freaky fast you do this. Oh, thanks, dude. I'm always afraid people are going to get bored watching, but at the same time, I really like watching people draw too. So it's like, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, I'm glad that you enjoy it, dude. Let's see. Some person says Mr. Fantastic's head is stretched and peeking around the corner. That's a good idea. I like that idea. This is good. This is good. Going to be a very Fantastic Four-centric piece coming here. Let's see. Let me check something real quick. I remember about her costume. Let me see here. I'm not going to use voice to text this time since all it does is misspell everything. It doesn't want to freaking do the thing. Okay, so I'll put that up there real quick. We're good. We're all good. I like having the classic look for the costume. I think is cool. And don't get me wrong, the Rivals costume is like super sexy. I really like how high tech it looks and everything. But I really like the classic costume. There we go. Let's see, I'm thinking. Some kind of table right here. I'm gonna get some good reference for some Kirby type tech for the background. So I'm gonna ink it. When I ink it, I'm gonna get some Kirby reference. I love how like chunky and thick the brush lines are when he draws his technology and stuff. Oh, I love that stuff. So we're gonna have. I'm setting this up because I want to see where Mr. Fantastic's head is going to come in from outside the panel. This is the beaker that Venom's going to be coming out of. This will be fun, dude. This is going to be fun. All right, Mr. Fantastic. Let's see. I was thinking coming around this. You know what? That's what I want. I want him to come around this way. All right, let's see. Before I start drawing Mr. Fantastic's head coming into the piece, let me just catch up with the chat real quick. Make sure I don't fall behind too far. Michael Armstrong. Hey, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us. Let's see. Michael's saying put Susan in a Rogue Savage Land outfit. That's actually, I mean, I've already got like the little bikini bottoms. We could kind of mix a Savage Land Rogue theme into this. Let me put this here as a little reminder, because I like how like she always has like the things tied to her leg and stuff. Savage Land Sue Storm. It's a good idea, dude. We all love Savage Land Rogue, that's for sure. Some person says with an evil look on his face. Definitely like up to something. Smoking a pipe. All right, I like where this is headed. Let me see, going like this, going like this. I think I want him going like this. Gotta get the rough shape of his head first. He's all stretched. Okay, there we go. The pipe sold me. I'm all thinking like Hans Landa. That was a good idea. That was a good idea. You got me at the right, in just the right little moment. All right, almost got his. You got me good with that one. That's a funny one. I like that. Make sure I get his little salt and pepper temples. Love it. All right, make sure she has two legs. Never want to forget. They get pissed off when you don't draw both their legs. Characters are so needy. I want two legs. I want two hands. All right, let me leave that here for a second. Let me catch up with you guys for a minute. Let's see here. Christopher says, artwork looks awesome. Thanks, dude. You're awesome, man. Let's see. Ken says, won't take too much effort to find Nira in the episode. The real trick will be to spot Celeste and Thalia. You know what? And they're back there. They're there. It's like, trust me, I combed over that episode with a fine-tooth comb with the famous cat mouse, looking for every little clue. Ken says the classic Sue Storm costume with the boob window 4 cutout. Yes. Let's see. Michael says have Venom in a container and looking at Susan like she is yummy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking he's going to be coming out of here, but like coming out like he's real big, but he's like coming out of the tiny beaker. I think that's what we're going to shoot for. Christopher says, did you pick up anything new? Asking Ken Zazer. Gotcha. And Ken says, not at the show. Yeah, Ken's not at the show. Kevin is actually at the show. Kevin is a photographer. He's quite busy over there right now. Ken says, I'm not at the show. I mean, Paul says maybe we could get someone ripping off their own shirt tonight in a Hogan tribute. Oh, you know what? It would be kind of nice to have a Hogan tribute of some kind. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Ken says maybe She-Hulk ripping off a Hulkamania t-shirt. That's a good idea, dude. That's a good idea. It's very timely, too. Very timely. Jason says, can't miss with the boob window. For sure. Christopher says, I like Savage Rogue. Yeah, Savage Rogue is a favorite, dude. Jason says, she doing cosplay for Reed? I think so. Or maybe she doesn't realize that, because Reed's behind her and Venom's kind of sneaking up behind her, too. It's we got to see what's going on here in this picture. Some person says, have you seen Venture Brothers? They do good parody of the Fantastic Four. Yeah, Venture Brothers is funny, dude. Paul says, Savage Rogue is bonkers. Love collecting those variant covers. Met the guy who wrote the new series at Heroes. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Let's see. If she has one leg, she could work at IHOP. Some person says, Sue knows he's peeking. She's used to it. That's true. I mean, they're connected. They're a couple. It's fine. Michael says, "Cool, that's good. I'm glad that's approved." Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, that was a good idea. That was a good idea. All right, let me see. Let me try and fit in Venom a little bit over here. That was a good idea to have him involved, because he was in, like, that was a memorable story. That's a memorable Fantastic Four story for me. Is when Reed Richards was separating the Venom symbiote from Peter Parker. Venom. I kind of quickly put in where his teeth are supposed to be, so that way we can get to the rest of the drawing. This is gonna be a lot to ink, but it'll be worth it. All right, we got to make his waist. He's got to fit in this. He's got to fit in this beaker. It's crazy. Let's see. Let me get his hand up in here. He's a huge dude, man. It's like, whoop. Like, you ever feel like somebody's watching you? You ever feel like somebody's watching you? This is a very strong beaker, by the way. It's holding a lot of Venom. Here we go. Let me back off the camera a little bit, so that way you can see like the whole image. There we go. That's a little bit better. That's crazy. All right, let me catch up with you guys just real quick here. Let's see. Michael says, "Oh yeah, like the Hulk Hogan thing." Yep. Have Venom ripping his shirt off like Hogan. Be good, but it's like I got him like being. Actually, you know what? I don't like his arm down here like this. I like him. I think he's gonna look better with his hand up a little bit. I definitely want to have somebody ripping off their shirt, so we're gonna figure that out. There we go. Have his hand like that, kind of a little bit more booga booga. Okay, there we go. Now we're talking. Paul says Nira ripping off her shirt to reveal a Hulkamania bra. Brother! I kind of like that idea. That might be part of, we might have 3 drawings tonight. What time is it? It's 11 o'clock. We might have time to do that real quick. Do a quick Hulkamania tribute. So let me put some other pipes back here. And we can do a little bit of a backdrop for this here. All right, that's where that's gonna go. That's where that's gonna go. This idea with Nero ripping off her top and having a Hulkamania, that's actually pretty dope. That's actually pretty dope. Let's try and sketch that in real quick. That's a cool idea. Jump on that idea while it's fresh. For the Hulkster, brother. I still want to have time to do an anime Malka. I think that's good. That's too good of an idea to not do. Actually, nope. Wrong nose.
Is that Waffle?
Yeah, Waffle's moaning.
Even though he's the comfiest dog in the world right now?
Even though he's the comfiest dog.
What's up, bub? Waffle, come here. He has like 20 beds. You can be over here.
Oh, he is the most. He's got more pillows in here than a hotel.
Good boy. Good boy. Want to be up here? Can you be up here? I got a big chair just so I could have Waffle on me.
We're doing a Hulkamania tribute. Right in the middle of our Fantastic Four drawing. You know what? Let's redo that part. There we go. There we go. That's a little better. Now we're talking. Okay. And we're going to be ripping off her shirt, and then there's going to be the Hulkamania bra underneath. I'll be drawing this in 3D tonight. If for any reason we run out of time to do our anime Malka, it'll be the first thing we work on the next episode. But I think we'll have time. I think we're going to be good. Is it kind of warm up here, Kathy?
Yes.
Can you check the thermostat for me?
There's a dog on my butt.
Never mind.
He's very, very happy right now. I just got him to stop whining.
Okay. Well, we'll be okay. We'll survive. All right, sorry I got quiet there for a minute. I was trying to figure out just how I was going to do this. Plus, I want to make sure that we're actually like ripping off the shirt here. The only thing I won't give Nira is the Hulkamania mustache. All right. Okay, I think I got most of that in there real quick. I wanted to at least capture that idea while it was fresh in our minds. All right, let me scroll back up. I know I probably missed a lot of things. Ken's going, brother. I get it. Let's see. Some person says Ben Grimm's hand about to grab Venom. Not today, ugly. You know what? We do have to have Ben in here. We already started. We've got two of these guys. We've got two of the Fantastic Four in here already, so we got to have something. Got to have something for Ben Grimm to do. Could be coming in from the side over here. That's actually a good idea, having like this coming in from off panel. Let's see how that looks, how it works for us. I'll draw in all the rock shapes and the rock patterns into his hands when I'm inking. Just got to get the general shape. There we go. It's like, nah, not today, buddy. No clobbering for you. Jason says, getting into some Virginia Moon by Foo Fighters, and I come back to this. Oh, I got a little catching up to do. Okay, here we go. All right, maybe a Hulk Hogan toy in the background. Some person says, can you feel these 12-inch pythons? Jason says, have Ben slapping into a Slim Jim. Paul says, oh, yeah. I got to draw Macho Man back there somewhere. I have to look up some reference for Macho Man. I got to get his tassels and his hat and his glasses just right. Let's see. Some person says Enemy Malka might end up being another Giganta thing. I know we went like 3 episodes. I think we went like 3 or 4 episodes before we finally got the Giganta. But then we like focused on making the whole episode about Giganta. So Paul says, are we going to get a cat mac and cheese run in again?
Not today.
She says not today.
But now I'm tempted.
There's a temptation there. You've planted the idea in her head. So who knows? Who knows? Let's see. Paul says, fitting that the Hogan work is a run in. Some person says going to need a larger chest. I know, right? I just barely kind of like scribbled in where I'm going to write the word Hulkamania. So I'll have it stretched off. I'll have it stretched in across there. Ken says no gravity in that wrestling ring. Hell no. Let's see. Paul says can't fake gravity, brother. Some person says maybe a championship belt. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Kind of cool. I'll rough it in a little bit. I'll rough in where it's generally going to go. I like that idea a lot, actually. That's a good idea. I have it kind of like hanging off her hips. That's a good idea. Very good idea. That was a good idea, brother. I'll get a little reference and stuff so that way I can get the parts of the belt in there right. I'll draw in a little bit of the ropes over here in the corner. Let's see, get her legs a little bit longer here. Just kind of want to rough in where they're going to go. Sweet, right? That's all right. I mean, I don't like how the pole looks like it's going right up her ass. I might change the position of the corner of the ring so it doesn't look like it's like stabbing her right in the butt. We'll fix that. Jeez. My brain, am I right? Okay, Ken says, definitely not fake. They're real and they're spectacular. Let's see, some person says, a giant Hulk Hogan in the sky looking on in approval. It's actually not a bad idea. I like that idea. I'll rough them in real quick. This is like the extra idea of the day, so I'm just gonna rough it in. The Hulkster is somebody I don't need too much reference around to know how to draw. I can have him Have him kind of up there, like with his arms crossed a little bit, right? Little smile, little smirk. There we go. Get him back there. He's it's a little angular right now, but I'll get that all fixed. A little bit of a cloud cover thing going on right here. Yeah, that's actually pretty. That's a good idea. I'm glad you guys thought of that. That was cool to kind of like throw that in. Yeah, like Odin. Let's see. Paul says that is so awesome. I want a My Idea discount. LOL. Ken says hands off my thing. Some person says Ben comes in like a bouncer and drags him away casually, right? Let's see. Ken says it should just be the belt only. I know, and it might be. It might be. I might have the belt just kind of hanging a little bit lower, so it's just kind of chilling. Hulkamania is running wild. Ken says interesting that you haven't drawn the Delta yet. That's usually the second thing you draw. I know. We started juggling around all the other ideas. See, now I got to draw the Delta in now because like it's part of the thing. So you brought it to my attention. Can't have Nero without her Delta. Blasphemy is blasphemy. Michael says you need Johnny in the picture. You need Johnny in the picture all mad. This is true. He's the last dude. But how are we going to have him in here? Let me see. Oh, I need to change my lead real quick. Is this the last lead in here? I think that's... Oh, no. I got one more. Hey, I got one more lead. Well, this is the corner where I've got Johnny available. Okay, I got kind of an idea. For Johnny. Little bit of an idea for Johnny. We'll see how this goes. He's upset. Poor Johnny. He's getting the barbecue ready. Typical family. Everybody gets stuck with jobs they don't want to do. Paul says NWO Nero World Order. Some person says Hogan doesn't wear glasses. That's Macho Man's thing. I've seen Hogan wear those little sunglasses before. Hasn't he? Or is that like a Mandela effect? Am I imagining things? I'll take those sunglasses off. Don't you worry. You want me to take them off? I'll take them sunglasses off. I think I've seen him wear sunglasses before. We'll see. Jason says maybe she's an assassin instead of a wrestler. Vic Donaldson, what's up, man? Glad you're hanging out with us. It's great stuff. Awesome. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're hanging out with us. Awesome. Like to have more people join us. Pop up in the chat. Always cool. Michael says, have him covering his eyes. Some person says, Richards, look at those back bazooms. Johnny, she's my sister, Reed. Like, what the hell, man? All right, I think we got a good handle on these guys. And you know what? And we still got some time. We still got some time before midnight, before the auction. So, Anime Malka, anybody? Anime Malka. Of course, I'll keep on reading the chat to make sure no other ideas pop up that might fit into the previous drawings. Here we go. Get a little cute look on the eyes here. I was thinking about this since we had the idea last week. So I'm glad we got some time. I'm glad we got time. There we go. Let me get a little smile on her face. I want to make sure she looks cool. This will be dope. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to go to the theater and watch Fantastic Four very soon. Maybe that'll be our break tomorrow. I was trying to decide if I wanted to have her smiling or pouting. So we're going to try smiling first. And then we'll go from there. All right, let's see what we got here. I want to give her a cool little flight pose. Make sure I leave enough room. I want to make sure I leave enough room for her wings because she's got some cool Cyber Angel wings that we like. All right, let me take a little break for a second and catch up with the chat. See where you guys are. Oh, I didn't leave the last one up, so now I got to see which one is going. There you go. I think this is where we left off. Pretty sure. Let's see. Michael says he wore them in the NWO. Oh, okay. So I sort of remember that he wore them at some point. Let's see. Paul says he wore the BOA and glasses as a Ventura spoof, I believe. Ah, got you. Well, we could take off the glasses either way, because like I kind of like the idea of seeing his eyes and then like maybe like twitching his eyebrows a little bit, so he's like got one eyebrow up, one eyebrow down. So that would be cool. You know what? We can actually kind of pop that in right now since we've got it on our minds. There we go. There we go. That'll be the note that I need to be so that he's looking down. That'll be cool. Yeah, I like that. Let's see, Hogan did glasses in WCW, but it kind of looked closer to Macho Man. Yeah, Macho Man is, I know him for the glasses. And for snapping into Slim Jims. Ken says, she's my sister. She's invisible to me. Paul says, full-on Savage Land outfit. Possibility, but you know, Malka's got a particular Cyber Angel outfit that I like to put on her. So we'll see. Let's see. Ken says maybe Malka could be in like a Neo Tokyo situation. Ken says Savage Land Malka doesn't sound like a bad idea at all. Oh, okay. Well, if Ken is saying it, maybe I have some approval from Courtney as well. Maybe we could do a little Savage Land action. That'd be kind of cool. Some person says, and the referee counts. And Bill gets back up and does a third drawing. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Vic says saw Superman today. It was quite good. Yeah, Vic. We saw it a few days ago also, and I thought it was good. It is very, very different. It is like I can't compare this Superman film with the previous like Man of Steel or anything like that. It's its own thing, and we did enjoy it. I thought it was quite good. Going to try Fantastic Four tomorrow. Awesome. You know, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. I want to make sure that I see both of them. So, and I want to see them on the big screen. Kevin says, Kevin, what's up, dude? Saying hello from Comic-Con Masquerade backstage. Can't hand long. Wanted to see what I'm missing. Oh, dude, yeah, we've got a few things going on. Got a Hulkamania Nera X tribute. We've got Invisible. We got a Fantastic Four tribute going on here. It's like there's a lot of things going on. I knew you were going to be busy with everything with the show and everything. I'm glad you made it in and can hang out for a little bit, dude. That's awesome. Some person saying hello. Let's see. Vic says nice flotation devices. Kevin says, so what's been happening? Oh man, the ideas. Some person says, quick, he's doing Enemy Malka. Say an idea. Oh damn, Ken's a lucky fella. Paul says, I for sure do associate the glasses with Hogan. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Kevin says Cyber Angel's doing cosplay on stage at Comic-Con. Ken says Courtney says Savage Land is a good idea. She's doing her nails right now. Okay, gotcha. Some person says you are much faster this time, Bill. You guys are making me faster. All right, I tell you what. Since we're kind of shooting for some Savage Land, which I think is going to be so much fun. I think Courtney will like this too. I think this will be good. This will be good. Savage Land, Courtney. All right, let's see what kind of mayhem we could put Courtney in. I like that we're doing some Savage Land. This is good. Yes. Excellent. Just want to give her a cool little pose here, because who knows what danger is lurking around the corner that she is just shrugging off like it's no big deal. Courtney's in danger. Still got to draw in her wings, though. She's going to have some Cyber Angel Savage Land wings. Excellent. This is a lot more fun. Doing the Savage Land version of her. This is a lot of fun. This is good. Good idea, guys. I see Kevin says, wow, it's so easy to undress Bill Slays. Ken says maybe there could be a Mecha Dino. That's a good idea. Mecha Dino. That's the way to go. Let's see. Let's make some room for her wings and see about throwing in a Mech Dino. That would be dope. All right, just get the general shape of this dude, this little badass man over here. Mecha Dino. Make sure I put a lot of mechanized parts in between all of this stuff. A lot of loose notes, but it's gonna be cool when it gets inked. You'll see. By the way, thank you for trusting me to actually go through and ink all of this stuff, like as well as I always say I'm going to. You guys are awesome. Gotta have a moon back here. I don't know what it is. Savage Land. Got a Mecha Dino. Gotta have a moon in the background. Woo! You guys take me to the limits. Possibly an explosion. I put an explosion in the background here. I like that. I like it. I like where it's going. I got a little note here, so I'll make sure there's an explosion back there. Let's see. Vic says, "How about a tiny dino pulling on her bikini bottom?" Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Let me see. A little dino might be. It'd be so cool if it was a little bit lower to the ground. Plus, I've got all this stuff here. I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to fit it in. That's such a good idea, though. That's such a freaking good idea. I love that. All right, let me see. Let's move on. I feel sad now that I couldn't fit that in. Let's see. Paul says, if had time to do Jurassic Park dinosaur mashup somehow. Kevin sees Malka's arch nemesis in one of those inflatable dinos. Courtney says Dino would be awesome. Oh, I'm glad you think that. I hope you like the Mecha Dino that's going to be in the background here. It's like he's like the cute to danger ratio, I think, is really good here. A cute dino for Courtney. Pet dino. This could be your pet dino, but he's kind of a badass dino. Some person says needs something that seems Japanese. Get that anime feel. This is true. Kevin says, "Oh, a pet dragon. Maybe Mecha Godzilla." I know. I'm catching up to you guys now. After I went ahead and sketched out the whole thing. Let me see. Ken says, well, if you really want the anime feel, jungle tentacles. Some person says Japanese castle in flames, perhaps. That is not a bad idea. I'll write in. This is my notes for some type of castle. There you go. Just sketched it in real quick so that way I can go back in there. That's a good idea. Instead of on just in flames, I'll have smoke coming off of it from the previous flames. It's good. It's good. I like. Let's see. Courtney says Malka on a dragon for a drawing another day, please. That would be sweet. Daenerys style. Oh, I'm gonna write that down. That's a good note. That is good. Okay, I wrote myself a note for that one, Courtney. That's a super sweet idea. Yep, for sure. I love that idea. Some person says this is 16 minutes in the Malka drawing. I know it kind of came together quick, but I am drawing a lot of things loose. I'm kind of giving myself notes instead of really, really tight drawings. When I go in with the inks, it's going to be a lot A lot of tighter. Let's see. Kevin says we always need a full moon. Vic says that is very cool. Awesome, dude. I'm glad you like that. Kevin says, and with that, back to work with me. Masquerade is starting. I've got a cosplay to photograph. Kevin, thank you so much for stopping by, dude. Wouldn't be the same without you, bro. You be safe. Have fun. You have to have fun for all of us, man. We're not at San Diego with you, dude. You guys are awesome. Some person says, perhaps the moon has a crack. No real reason. I'm sold. You don't need to have a reason to have a badass moon with a big crack in it. Had that little sci-fi thing. Sai says tighter is better. Whew. You guys have run me to the bone. But this has been so much fun, dude. This has been so much fun. All right, we got 3 pieces tonight. We got 3 fresh pieces tonight. So cool. All right. It's about 15 minutes till. I don't know why the thermostat is as warm as it is, but I think these 3 drawings are el completo. We got the Hulkamania. We got the Fantastic Four homage. And we've got Savage Land Malka. So cool. Oh, man. All right, let me see here. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Sai says, the next time I stream, I'll show off what I got in person from my drawer. Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be awesome. I would love for you to show that off. That'd be sweet. Night Phoenix, what's up? I am so late. Some would say you're right on time. For a wizard is, well, you know how it goes. But anyways, like we haven't started the auction yet. We did 3, dude. We did 3 fresh pieces tonight. Unbelievable that we've got 3. We usually stretch to have 2, but we've got 3 for tonight. We got the Fantastic Four. We've got Savage Land Malka, the Cyber Angel, and we've got a Nira X Hulkamania tribute with her ripping off a shirt with a Hulkamania kind of little tiny shirt / bra thing underneath with a championship belt and all that good stuff. Got the Hulkster in the background. It's been a good night. It's been a good night. Paul says, I hope the auctions don't need to include time and a half. Sai says, it's so hot in there because you're bringing the heat, Bill. Thank you. I am going to check the thermostat, though. Vic says, you got way faster as you went. I know. It's like you guys gave me the juice. You guys gave me the energy. Sai says, hit the thumbs up to help Bill with the algorithm, please. Please listen to Cyborg Valkyrie, my friends, for subscriptions and also hitting the like button. All a good thing. Also, before we start the actual auction, by the way, Sai, I am doing the thing that you suggested. You taught me how to pop the chat out of the YouTube channel, so that way when I do the countdown, it doesn't like drag and take forever. So thank you for that. Okay, so before we get started, if anybody's here for the first time, I actually forgot what I was going to say before, so I'll just go through the thing. If anybody's here for the first time, we do a sketch. We come up with all these cool ideas. At the end of the evening, which is just about now, we do an auction. We auction off each of these pieces to one lucky winner for each piece. And when you receive the piece in the mail, it is going to be a fully inked piece. It's not going to be the rough pencil that you see here. And then we also try to color it and put it up on our secret Patreon page and all that good stuff. If you do happen to be the person who wins the bid, when we start the auction, basically we start with any number as long as the numbers keep going up. And you just have to type in the word bid next to your number. So that way we know that it's a serious bid. And then all you do from that point is, do I have my thing? Do I have my thing here? There you go. There. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here's the thing. You send your PayPal to my Gmail address, just billmossart@gmail.com, and make sure that you include the drawing that you got in the notes and also your mailing address. So that way there's no confusion. Everything's good to go. And I'll just put the little ticky thing at the bottom here. So that way that we know that basically, we don't even know which one we're bidding for first. We don't know which one we're bidding for first. We'll do it in the order in which we drew them. How's that? So the Fantastic Four piece is the first one that we will be bidding on this evening. Let me catch up with the chat real quick before we get started. Oh, Ken is reminding, in the not safe for work version of the Hulkamania drawing, the corner of the ring stays right where it is. Yes, you have the option. Some person says the Hulkamania is running through your veins, Bill. It's running through my veins, brother. Paul says maybe Kat can bring some macaroni ice cream. Macaroni ice cream.
Gross.
I will take macaroni and I will take ice cream separately. All right. Sai says, "Oh, good. Glad to help, Billy." Oh, sure. Yeah, that was actually a huge help because it was kind of torturous waiting for the number to pop up. Sai says, "I'm out of here. Time to snuggle with Shay." Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time. We're going to talk soon. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'm glad you were here. I'll see you later. Go snuggle. All right. Ken Zazer's in the room with 20. Thanks so much, dude. I'll write these down as I go so I don't have to scroll back up. And we'll see how the evening goes. It's 11:50. We're going to let this go for 5 minutes. Some person goes, ding, ding, ding. All right, this is the piece that is up right now, the Fantastic Four piece. We're going to go for 5 minutes, and then I'll do a 10-second countdown. And we will go from there, my friends. This has been a good night. Thank you so much. You guys came up with some really, really crazy ideas. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Let's get ready to rumble. All right, Ken's in a room with 20. And remember, just remember to type in the word bid next to your number if you wish to bid on the piece. I know that we have 3 pieces, so you might be waiting for one of the other pieces. Totally cool. We'll see how much it goes for. We'll just see how well it does. So it's 11:50 right now. So 11:55 we'll call it, and we'll do a 10-second countdown, and we will go from there, my friends. Excellent. Ken says, at some random thing about me, I came in second in a Michael Buffer sound-alike contest. I am going to check the thermostat in about a minute. It's a little warm up in here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe you guys did. You guys brought the heat. That's what it was. That's what's going on. This is going to be a fun piece to ink. There we go. I'm going to write that down right there. We're good. Whew. I'm going to tell you what. This is a good alternative to my whole weekend at Comic-Con. This is a lot of fun. But this is the whole reason that we do this every weekend. So Saturdays, 10 o'clock, Standard Eastern Time. We do this every Saturday so we can hang out, have some jokes, come up with some crazy ideas. Oh, by the way, if anybody's watching from our Facebook channels, please migrate and come on over and watch us directly from our YouTube channel. That makes things a lot better for us, and it also makes things better for you, especially if you like to drop comments into the chat or if you're bidding on anything. It's synced a whole lot better. I don't know why the Facebook channel, but I have to broadcast to the Facebook channels because that's where most of my friends are. Sometimes it's the only way that people know that we're broadcasting. Let's see. Ken says, just a thought, Johnny should have a burned wiener on the grill. I'm gonna tell you what. Maybe I'll draw more than one burned wiener, so it just doesn't look like his burned wiener. But then again, I'll leave it like this for now. Here we go. I'll turn it sideways so that way you can actually see the whole picture. Got Sue Storm in almost. She is almost in a Savage Land Rogue outfit. And then remember too that if you win the piece, if you wanted me to lean it a little bit more not safe for work, then I'll make the shirt translucent, or maybe I'm going to rip up the shirt so that way it's a lot more Savage Land. That'd be the way to do that. And then down the road a little bit, we like to post our things up on our secret Patreon page. Our secret Patreon page is over here. It's patreon.com/clubcorrupt. Anything that we post on there that's safe for work, I actually post it as a public post, so that way anybody can just download it and enjoy a high-res version of it. If it's got if it's the adult version of it, obviously it's going to be behind the paywall. But there's two different levels. The cheapest level gives you access to the whole thing. So if you do get the level that's a little bit more, that's just because maybe you want to buy us a cup of coffee or get us a couple extra pens and paper, that sort of thing. And I appreciate the extra support. But the least expensive of the two levels get you access to the whole page. So it's totally cool. Paul says lots of sexy art on the Patreon page. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Paul, for joining us too. I really appreciate that, dude. Got less than a minute left to go. I tell you what, this is how it goes sometimes. This is how it goes. Ken might be getting this piece for $20. Fatang, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us, man. Right in the middle of the auction, I think Ken Zazer is about to get this piece for $20, dude. For $20, the Fantastic Four. Some person says Ben's hand adds a lot to the drawing. Who knows what fun, violent things he'll do to Venom. Fatang says macaroni ice cream is real. Oh my gosh. I need to do some research. I don't know. It sounds gross at first, but maybe you say it's a real thing.
It is a real thing, and it's atrocious.
Some person says Ben grabs Venom's head and squeezes. Hey, Fatang. Fatang says, I saw it at my local Walmart and asked why. Hey, Vic is in here for 25. Thanks so much, dude. And you know what? It's been 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's totally cool. Totally cool. So it's 25 bid for Vic. He is in, and we're going to start a 10-second countdown. If anybody bids within the 3 seconds, I do the 3 seconds over again in order to give anybody a chance to get the piece at the very end. So that's a fairly new rule. So I wanted to make sure everybody knew about that. Chris Dehan in the room. What's up, dude? In the room for 28. Thanks, man. All right, we're going to start the 10-second countdown. I know the sound of my voice has a slight delay, so please just watch the chat itself for the countdown. Starting at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, the 3, a 2, 1. Marking it as Ken Zazer in the room with 30. Okay, let me highlight that real quick. We have to start. Got to start at the 3 second mark one more time, because that was our rules. Thank you, Ken, for doing that. Awesome, awesome. All right, starting at 3, 2, 1, and marking it 000 as sold. And oh, Chris Dehan in the room with 33. Look at you, man. All right, I'm gonna write that down real quick. Michael came in at 31. Chris has already got you beat with 33, and we're gonna have to start over again at the 3-second mark, my friends, because at the 3-second mark, if you interrupt the count, then we have to start at the 3-second mark yet again. So starting at 3, 2, 1. Ken in the room with 35. You're awesome, dude. All right, Ken is in here at 35. I'm write that down real quick. Chris Dehan came back in the room at 38. Thanks, brother. Brother. All right, we're going to start this once again at the 3-second count. Are you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Marking it sold with the 000, and I think we've got it, my friends. I think we've got it. Please, everybody, congratulate Chris Dehan in the room with 38. Awesome deal, dude. You can let me know. Please, everybody, congratulate Chris. That was a good little, and that's an awesome deal. That's awesome, dude. Super, super cool. All right, I'm going to write your name on the back of this one, my friend. Paul says, good job, all. Got exciting there at the end. That's awesome, awesome. Chris Dehan, also, please let me know. You can let me know right now in the chat if you want. If you want to keep it just the way it is, as far as when I go in and ink it, or if you want to make it a not safe for work piece, just let me know in the chat so that way I know. And then I'm going to get the next piece ready. We got 2 more pieces for tonight. Vic says, congratulations to Chris. Awesome, awesome. Ken says, congrats. Awesome. I'm going to set this off to the side. Thank you so much, Chris. I'm assuming this might be a not safe for work piece, but let me know in the chat just to be sure. Each piece is a case by case. All right, the next piece up. Chris says, whoa, the chat's choice. He's leaving it up to the chat whether or not this should be just the way it is or whether it should be a not safe for work. What do you guys think? Everybody type in what you think. Either not safe for work or as is. What do you guys think? Help Chris decide which way the Fantastic Four should go. As soon as I get a vote, from everybody, from anybody at all, I'm going to mark it. Some person says not safe for work. I knew it was going to go that way. Some person says yes, dirty as hell. Ken Zader says not safe for work. We want the thing. We want the. Oh my gosh. Vic says not safe. Paul says not safe. Let's go. Michael says nude. Absolutely, dude. That one's going to be ready. That's going to be hooked up for our Patreon page for sure. All right, guys. Well, it's 12:01. So the Hulkamania tribute is going to be up now. And so at 12:06, we are going to do a 10-second countdown on this piece. So if anybody would like to bid on this piece for tonight, little Hulkamania action, little tribute to the man. Michael's like unsafe. You guys are awesome. All right, this is the Hulkamania tribute, Nira X piece, and we'll see where this one will go. Let's see. Ken says, how would you do Not Safe for Work with the Hulkamania piece? I would just have her ripping off her shirt, and maybe Hulkamania is actually written on her. And it's possible that I can possibly like hang the belt a lot lower. You know what I mean? So we can go that route. So it's all up to you guys. Paul's in the room with 50. Thanks so much, Paul. You're awesome, dude. Michael says, unsafe. Some person says, I could also say as dirty as R. Crumb would make it. Probably more dirty than hell. Ken says, the belt could replace her thigh pad. Oh, that would be funny. Yeah, we could do that. Well, if you win the piece, Ken, remind me to do that. That'll be your job, to throw me a note to remind me to do that part. All right, Paul is a big man in the room right now with 50. He says he's serious. We're here to get this piece of art. Want to hook this thing up? Jason says, taking off for the night. Have a great evening. Hey, Jason, thanks for hanging out with us, dude. Hope you have the good rest of your weekend and all that good stuff. You have a good one, man. All right, Ken Zazer's in the room with 55. Ken says, I am more serious. I am more of the serious. You cannot be more of the serious than me. Paul says, no, bro, 60. I'm not playing around. I know what I'm doing. Let's see, it's 12:04. We got 2 minutes left. And then we will do a 10-second countdown on this one. Chris Dehan in the room with 62. Awesome, awesome. Ken is more serious. He says 70, good sir. That's where we're going with it. Paul is in the room now with 75. You're awesome, dude. Thanks. Michael says, what is your Patreon again? Oh, yeah, the Patreon is at Club Corrupt. I'll put the thing up on the screen again as soon as we get done with the bidding on this one here. Courtney says you skipped 69. No. Christine says Ken missed a chance at 69. Oh shit. All right, Chris Dehan is back in the room with 77. You're awesome, dude. And don't worry, Michael. I'll put up the address to the Patreon again as soon as we're done with the bidding on this particular piece. I'll make sure I put that up because it's actually hard to find. I've done searches for it, like on the Patreon website, and it's kind of hard to find. So it's like I'll definitely put it up there. It's just patreon.com/Club Corrupt. Club Corrupt being one word, of course. Ken says, "Nice profile pic, Courtney." All right, we got less than 1 minute to go. Chris Dehan in the room with 77. People skipped out on the 69. Unbelievable. We have traditions here, people. All right, dude, it's 12:06. We're going to do a 10-second countdown now. I'm going to start switched over to the other chat, so that way there is no delay for those who like to snipe. Oh, Ken is in the room with 80. Thanks, bro. All right, starting the 10-second countdown with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, I gotta stop. I just see where Chris Dehan came into the room with 83, but Paul has already got him beat at 105. Thanks, Paul. All right, writing that down. Oh, Chris Dehan back in the room with 109. Thanks, bro. This is getting thick, people. This is getting thick. The drama. They're starting the countdown again. Oh, Paul is in the room with 115. Thank you, Paul. You guys are awesome. Chris Dehan back in the room with 118. All right, continuing the countdown at 4. Oh, I see that Paul came back into the room with 125. You're awesome, dude. We still have Sergeant Slaughter. This is true. We do. We do. Chris Dehan in the room with 128. Thanks, bro. Paul back in the room with 150. You're awesome, brother. Brother. All right, continuing the countdown at 3, 2, 1. And now I'm going to mark it sold with a 000. All right, we got it sold. Let me go back up, go back up, go back up. It looks like it's Paul. Paul with 150. Thanks, dude. You're awesome, man. Please, everybody, congratulate Paul. That was good. That was good, man. That was some good drama going on in there. Ken says, congrats. That is awesome, dude. Paul's saying, thanks, guys, for letting me steal that. You guys are awesome. Hey, Paul, please let me know, too, if you want me to lean this one. We had some ideas for a not safe for work version of it, or we can do it just like the pencils indicate on here right now. So you can let me know in the chat right now if you want to. That'd be awesome. Chris Dehan says, nice. Congrats. Awesome, awesome. You guys are so cool. Courtney says, awesome drawing. Thank you, Courtney. I'm glad you're hanging out with us tonight. This is awesome. Paul says it's so awesome the way it's going. Oh, I'm glad you like it, dude. Okay, I'm going to leave it just the way it is. I'm going to write the Hulkamania like across like the little bra shirt that she's got. And then I've got the belt just hanging like super low. So it looks like she's bottomless, but she's totally covered by the belt. I think that'll be really, really cool. If for any reason you want me to lean it like more not safe for work, just let me know in the chat, and it's totally cool. But you say it's awesome the way it's going, so this is the way I'll leave it for you, my friend. That is awesome, dude. Some person is sharing my Patreon link. Thank you so much, dude. That makes it a whole lot easier. Thank you for doing that. Vic says, congrats. Awesome, awesome. Paul says, perfect build. Oh, man, you're awesome, dude. I love this group. You guys are awesome. All right, we've got Savage Land Malka, Cyber Angel, coming up next. Some person says, shh, don't tell. Bill Moss's secret Patreon club is linked right here. Let's see, Paul says, and would love the glasses back on Hulk if possible. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'll write myself a quick little note. Yeah, we'll put the sunglasses back on there. That'll be dope. Love it, love it, love it. Awesome, dude. All right, so now we've got Savage Land Malka. Oh, we do have a quick link. That's our webpage. That's just my main webpage. All of my social links are on that webpage too. And I'm gonna start updating that page with more characters and titles and things like that. So that way you can get familiar with some of the characters from our books and everything like that. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. All right, this is our last piece of the evening. We're gonna start bidding on this one right now. Let's see, it's what, 12:11? So 12:16. At 12:16, we'll call it, and this will be our evening. This will be our fun for the evening. Let me turn it sideways. Maybe you can see more of the. If I turn it sideways, it turns into porn. I don't know why that is. There you go. I'll turn it like this. A 45. I'll meet it halfway. All right, at 12:06, we'll go ahead and call it. We're letting this go for 5 minutes. Ken says, should Hulk have the dyed handlebar mustache from NWO? You know, the way that I was drawing it, the way that I penciled it, he's got the the regular light mustache, but the 5 o'clock shadow is dark underneath. So definitely let me know before I ink it, Paul, to make sure that that's the look that we're going for. Oop, let me grab my pencil here. All right, cool. Ken in the room with 20. Awesome. Thanks, bro. Vic in the room also with 20, but Ken's got it first. So far it's still Ken's. And it'll go till 12:16. So you got like 4 more minutes left. Yes, Ken Zazer with the traditional 69 bid. You're awesome, bro. That's what I'm talking about. I think my room has actually started to cool down a little. No, it's not cool yet. It's still hot in here. Vic says, no, man, 25. Thanks, bro. Even though 69. Okay, thank you. Now I'm not going backwards. So Chris Dehan is actually in the room. He's the big bid in the room with 69.69. So let me make sure that he is caught up. Very, very cool. All right, Christy Hand's in the room with 69.69. You don't want him to beat you with 69 cents. That's just a traditionary complimentary bid. You guys. All right, we got 2 minutes left. Took up all the plutonium tonight, I'll tell you that right now. It's true. Chris says missed it on the others. Ken Zazer is in the room with 69.70. I'm writing it down too. That's official. Some person says that drawing is kind of Frazetta-like. Yeah. I could see a little bit of that, like as far as like the composition and stuff. Yeah. I can see a little bit of that influence back there. Frazetta's like one of the best, man. It's like he lives in all of us. I see Chris Dehan in the room with 72. Awesome. Thank you, dude. Oh, Vic, sorry. He already got 72 above your 70 bid. Ken in the room with 75, but Chris Dehan is already back in the room with 78. You guys are awesome, man. Fight for Malka's safety. You can capture Malka. Don't mess with Malka. She'll mess you up. She's a cyber angel, man. She'll mess you up. Oh, Vic is like something else too. If you're commenting, if you're posting from the Facebook page, you have to post a little bit faster. You need to be on our YouTube page for it to be synced up a lot better. It'll be synced up a lot better if you're on our YouTube channel. Ken is in the room with 85. Thanks, dude. Yeah, if anybody is bidding or commenting or anything from the Facebook channels, like if you can migrate over to the YouTube chat, to our YouTube, directly on the YouTube chat, on the live chat, it'll be synced a lot better. I don't know why, but the Facebook chat, for some reason, there's a little delay to it. There's a little bit of a delay. Some person says Malka is worth many, many camels. Christiane says, I had tried the Facebook page first and lost a few that way. Oh, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I try to remind everybody to jump over to the YouTube channel. Chris Dehan in the room with 88. Thanks, dude. Vic says, yeah, I've been on the Facebook page all night. Yeah, it's a little bit slower. I mean, just by a little bit, but it's it's enough to kind of like trip up the bidding a little bit if you're trying to time it. So if there's a way that you could come on over to our YouTube chat, come directly over to the YouTube channel, it's going to be it's going to be synced up just a lot better for you. Ken in a room with 95. Thanks, dude. Some person, absolutely. Thank you. Follow Cat Mouse. This is her X page. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that link. Chris Dehan in the room with 98. Thanks, brother. All right, our time is just about up. I'm going to start the 10-second countdown here in 1 second. I'm switching over to the other chat. Starting up with 9, 8, 7, 6. Let's see. Let me see what this says here. PayPal doesn't have Gmail on it, but it does say Bill Mouse Art under Billy Mouse. Is that the right one? Yes, that should be right. Yeah, Billy Mouse. That's me. Thank you, Paul, for letting me know. Ken in a room with 105. Thanks, dude. Stopping the countdown just for a second. Vic says, oh, well, I had fun. Have a great night, people. Oh, Vic, I'm glad you're hanging out with us, dude, for sure. And please, we're here every Saturday, or we try to be here every Saturday, 10 o'clock Standard Eastern Time. And we always do this from 10 to 12, hang out and have a good time. I'm glad you hung out with us, dude. All right, Ken is in the room with 105. And let me see. Let's see. I'm at 5 on the countdown. So we're going to start at 5. 4, 3. Hey, thanks, Michael. Thanks for joining the Patreon page. I really appreciate that, dude. Whoa, Chris Dehan in the room with 110. Awesome. Ken back in the room with 115. Thanks, dude. All right, continuing the countdown again at 3. Up, Chris Dehan in the room at 118. Thanks, bro. Ken says, no, 130. I'm serious about this. That's what I'm talking about. All right, starting the countdown at 3. Oh, Chris Dehan back in the room at 135. I'm continuing the countdown at 3, 2, I see Ken Zazer popping into the room with 140. You're awesome, dude. Chris Dehan with 143. And I'll be starting the countdown again at, Ken Zazer back in the room at 150. My boy's like, no, man, I'm serious. I told you I'm serious. Chris Dehan back in the room at 153. Thanks, dude. All right, counting again. Starting at 3. The drama is thick. 165 for Ken. Starting the countdown at, Chris Dehan in the room with 168. Oh, here we go. Got this. And then I got 168. Chris Dehan. Thank you, dude. Ken says, no, I'm serious. 170. Bro. I'm going to start the countdown again at 3. Chris Dehan in the room with 173. And I'm going to start the countdown again at 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to mark it as sold. 000. 1, 2, 3. And that looks like that is it. Let me scroll up real quick, make sure what we got here. Looks like Chris Dehan is in the room with 173. Please, everybody, congratulate Chris Dehan. I'm going to write that down real quick. Ken says, congrats. You want Courtney to sign it? LOL. She is the Cyber Angel. She is the person that this Cyber Angel is designed after, is inspired by. This is Courtney. Paul says, we really brought it on the last 2. Way to go, Chris. That's awesome. Awesome. Please, yeah, everybody congratulate Chris. That was good drama. Good drama. I'm going to write your name on the back of this one, my friend. Let's see, I'm going to set this right here. Set this one right here. And then we've got our fantastic 4-piece for the evening. Whew. Wow, this was a busy night. This was a busy night. It had a lot of fun, dude. Christiane says, thanks. If possible, that would be cool. Oh, man. He's going to get Courtney to sign it. We'll see. We'll see if we can mail this back and forth. We'll get Courtney to sign it. Paul says PayPal is already sent. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I see from across the table here, I see that there's a little notification tab on my phone. So it's right there. Thank you, Paul. And please be sure, Paul, if when you sent the PayPal, that you sent in the notes that you sent me also your mailing address. If it's not there, then it's okay. I'll be able to message you on PayPal. So I'm sure it's there. I'll be able to message you either way. So it's all good. Thank you, Paul. Courtney says, great job all. Love the drawings tonight, Bill. Thank you so much, Courtney. I'm glad you're hanging out with us, having a good time, getting creative. This is awesome. Very, very cool. Let me put this down here. Christy Hinn says, that was fun. Thanks. Awesome, awesome. I had a great time. This has been a very, very fun time. Especially since we couldn't make it to San Diego Comic-Con like we usually do. But this was an amazing time. We had a good Saturday, had a lot of fun coming up with creative ideas. And let me look at my calendar. I want to make sure that we're actually here next weekend. It's very possible that we might have a Sunday show next week instead of a Saturday show, because we do have a Comic-Con here. Yeah, we have a show that we might be doing. So I will definitely post about it to let you know. We do try to make it every Saturday at 10 o'clock Standard Eastern Time. But if not, I usually post something on our Facebook page, or I'll post something on the YouTube channel so that way you guys know what we're up to. But yeah, thanks so much. Oh, let me turn off this thing. I don't need this little this thing. Keep on going. There you go. Awesome, awesome. But thanks, guys. This was a really fun night. Hey, Kat, say good night.
Good night.
Christiane is asking if there's going to be a show tomorrow. I wasn't actually planning on the show tomorrow, but if there's enough time and I have enough energy, we might do a little live streaming. We might do a little draw stream tomorrow. But we will see how it goes. Right now, we're just happy and lucky that we could do it tonight, make sure that our schedule is open. So, because I really do look forward to this every week and like hanging out with you guys and having some fun. So if we do, I'll post it on my Facebook page. If you go to my webpage, you'll see all my social media links there. And please follow me on Facebook. That's where I'm active the most often. And I usually post, like all the little different things that we're doing on my Facebook page before we do that. Lizzie Paul is asking, are you going to Fairfax? Hey, Kat, are we going to Fairfax? I think we are. Yep, I got it written down here. Yep.
It's like, which one?
Fair. If it's Fairfax Comic Con on August 23rd, yes, we're going to be there. We're actually scheduled to be there, or at least we've submitted to be there. So we're planning on being there. I don't think I wrote it down on my calendar that we submitted, but I don't have it on my calendar that we actually have our table yet. So I might have to look at that. We are planning on being there, but it's not 100% just yet. So if you want to message me later and ask me before the show, please do, because it's written in my calendar. I just don't know 100% if we have a table yet or not. Ken says the not safe for work version of Savage Malka would not take that much work to change. That's true. Paul says you are on the waiting list. Yeah. See, that's the thing. So I don't have 100% yet on whether or not. So as soon as I know, I will post that we're going to be there. But we did apply. Yep, you're right. We're on the waiting list thing. So I see the thing there. So it's all good. Some person sharing our link. That's the link to my webpage. Thank you so much for sharing that link. Awesome. I hope everybody, if for some reason I can stream tomorrow, I will. But as far as I know, please enjoy your Sunday. I think I'll be doing a lot of work on the books that we just finished campaigning on. So that's probably what I'm going to be working on tomorrow. And I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. Let's see. Michael says you should come to Tennessee. Maybe Tennessee. We are adding more shows to our list, slowly but surely. We're starting to add more shows to the list. So I'm definitely open to adding more locations to go to. That'd be a lot of fun. Paul says this was nuts. Can't believe I won something this time. No, totally cool, man. I'm glad everybody had a good time and everybody got some cool artwork. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Ken says congrats to Paul for sure. Yep. Michael says yep. You guys are awesome. All right, man. I tell you what, I'm going to shut down for tonight. Grab a snack, maybe do some inking, and please enjoy your Sunday. I know that I'm going to, and we will see you guys again next time. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks so much.
Good night, Seattle.